All right, new little tidbit that I received. First, the only thing that matters is this moment. I'm pretty sure I've said it before, and I know it. I understand it. And I love being in these moments where I fully understand it and I fully know it, that it's all this moment. The whole goal is just to become more consistent at knowing it, and in this state more and more and more of the time. So the only thing that matters is this moment. The new little tidbit, I also know, but it never really thought about it in this way. So I'm seeing it differently by saying it differently. So we create by emotion, not thinking. So the emotion comes first. You would think that the thought comes first. Like you think about something and then you do it, and then so that's how you create your reality. But the emotion comes first, which will then conjure the thought. So we create by emotion, not thinking. The emotion conjures the thought. So that's your starting ground. Before you even started thinking, you had emotion, which then conjured your thoughts. Whatever thoughts you had were directly related to your emotions, which came from how you were interpreting reality at that point. So the emotion conjures the thought. The thought then, if followed, creates our physical reality. So it all starts with emotion, and then comes your access to whatever emotion you're feeling. You then gain access to those kinds of thoughts. So if you're feeling happy, you gain access to happy thoughts. If you're feeling sad, you gain access to sad thoughts. And when you solely have access to those kinds of thoughts, unless you change your emotion first before you start thinking those thoughts, you will then become sad. Your physical reality will be sad. So it starts with emotion. The thought then comes, which then creates your physical reality. And what happens to people, everyone, if they don't know this, what happens is, if you don't know your emotions come first, and you're creating reality that you don't want or that you think shouldn't be, the more you see it and it doesn't change, the more you feel negative emotion towards that reality, and you just continue gaining access to those same thoughts that are attached to the emotion that you had been feeling. And so it makes sense when you think about it. People who are rich and grew up in wealthy houses, and they stay that way because their emotion that's attached to that has always been the same. And it's the same thing with people who are the opposite. So you get that vicious cycle. So the only way to change it is by changing the emotion. And since you've already created the physical reality that you're seeing, the only way to change that is by changing your emotion in the face of it. So you were reacting a certain way to where you were, and the only way to change that, because it's not going to change because the emotion comes first. So you have to change the emotion and start with the emotion. So you have to catch the emotion before you look at the physical reality. Wow, this is so fantastic.